This entire government shutdown is not about policy. It is a cheap, cynical stunt cooked up by Chuck Schumer to save his own political career. Senator Ted Cruz just stepped onto the Senate floor and utterly demolished the narrative, exposing how Senate Democrats are exploiting the American people just to prove their pathological hatred for Donald Trump. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Thank you, Senator Luján. I would note that witnesses in court are asked at the beginning of their testimony to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And one of the most important elements of that is the second element, the whole truth. What Senator Luján said is correct. It is true that Republicans have a majority in the House, a majority in the Senate, and a majority in the White House because the American people voted for Republicans in 2024. They voted for President Trump. They voted for a Republican majority in the Senate. They voted for a Republican majority in the House. The whole truth that Senator Luján knows well, but that he omitted, is under the Senate rules, funding for the government cannot proceed in the Senate without 60 votes. Senator Luján is very well aware of that. There are only 53 Republicans in the Senate. That means in order to fund the government, at least 7 Democrats have to vote to fund the government. So the phrase, which is facilely used of, well, Republicans control everything, you guys should fund it, is said deliberately playing on the fact that many people don't know you need 60 votes to proceed to fund the government. And I would note, Senator Luján knows that in part because when Joe Biden was president, this isn't a new situation. When Joe Biden was president, 13 times, Senate Republicans joined with Democrats to pass a clean continuing resolution. We could have done the same thing. When Joe Biden was president, the Democrats did not have 60 votes. What differed is when Joe Biden was president, Republicans demonstrated responsibility. We didn't shut the government down. Every Democrat in this body, you can play video after video of them going on TV, intoning a government shutdown is irresponsible, it is reckless, it hurts Americans. They all know that. They've all said that repeatedly. By the way, we had this situation happen earlier this year. In March, government funding expired. And what happened? In March, a handful of Senate Democrats did the responsible thing, and they joined with Republicans in keeping the government open. But then a political problem developed, which is Chuck Schumer, the Democrat leader in the Senate, almost lost his job. The extreme left wing of the Democrat Party got very, very angry that the Democrats allowed the government to open. And Schumer is very afraid of being primaried from the left. The election results on Tuesday underscore the grave political peril Schumer sees from the extreme left in the party. So why are we in the longest shutdown in history? For one reason, for Senator Schumer and Senate Democrats to demonstrate to the extreme left wing of their party that they really, really, really hate Donald Trump. Well, we got that point. Every federal employee who hasn't gotten a paycheck got that point. We understand. Nobody will be confused that my Democrat colleagues are sleeping at night with a Donald Trump nightlight on the wall. We know their view. Senator Luján said we just need to find a path forward. We know the path forward. It's the exact same path forward that we took 13 times when Biden was president. The path forward is voting to fund the government and passing a clean continuing resolution. The path forward is literally the turn of a wrist. When we vote on a continuing resolution, instead of doing this, rotate your wrist 180 degrees. That's how we open the government. We've had 3 Senate Democrats show the courage to vote to keep the government open. Senator Fetterman, a member of this committee, has said quite candidly, this is a Democrat shutdown. For the sake of the TSA agents, for the sake of the air traffic controllers, for the sake of the flying public, let's not test that idiot Democrat staffer who told Politico we'll keep the shutdown going until planes start falling from the sky. That's not funny. And I do believe my colleagues on the Democrat side, they don't want to see that happen. But every day that they starve the system of the resources it needs, they increase the chances of a tragedy like that occurring. Mr. DeLue, you're recognized for your opening statement.
You know, the thing that gets me the most frustrating part about all of this is the sheer, undeniable, documented hypocrisy. I mean, we all watched it. You guys saw the clip. Every single one of those Democrats, every single one went on national TV under the Biden administration and called a shutdown reckless, irresponsible, and a danger to the nation. And now they're not just participating in one, they are actively prolonging it, weaponizing it. It's insulting, honestly. And the lie they're running with, this whole idea that the Republicans, having won the mandate in 2024, are somehow responsible for this chaos. It's just a bald-faced manipulation of the rules. Senator Cruz had to remind the country that there's a 60-vote threshold for funding in the Senate. We have 53 Republicans. You do the math. They are relying on the fact that most people don't know the procedural rules, and they are using that ignorance as a political shield. It's despicable. But the worst part, the absolute worst part, is that this is not about policy. It's not about principles. This is a purely pathetic political tantrum designed to protect one man, Chuck Schumer. He's so terrified of being primaried, so afraid of the radical left wing of his party, that he's holding the entire country's operations hostage. The motive is laid bare for everyone to see. It's a desperate performance, a signaling exercise to the extremists that, look, I really, really, really hate Donald Trump, so please don't primary me. Federal employees are missing paychecks and critical services are running thin, all because of his personal political insecurity. It's pathetic. Honestly, and it shows the Democrats have completely lost their way. And we have the receipts. We have the unbreakable proof that the Republicans are the adults in the room. Cruz points out that 13 times under Joe Biden, the GOP put the country first. We didn't have 60 votes then either, but we joined Democrats to keep the government open with a clean resolution. We had our differences, sure, but we didn't shut down the system. That's the definition of responsible governance, isn't it? The pathway to open the government is right there. It's the exact same pathway we took 13 times under Biden. It's the turn of a wrist to vote yes on a clean continuing resolution, but they simply refuse because they prioritize hating Trump over funding the government. And what about that quote? That Politico quote about the Democrat staffer saying they'd keep the shutdown going until planes start falling from the sky? I mean, that's not a joke. That's a direct threat. It proves their level of detachment, their recklessness. They are so consumed by this personal hatred that they are willing to risk public safety for a stupid political point. Even one of their own, a Democrat, Senator Fetterman, had the guts, the political courage to just say, this is a Democrat shutdown. When the truth is that obvious, when your own side calls you out, you've lost the argument and you've lost the moral high ground. This entire saga confirms everything we already knew about the left. They don't care about governing. They care about power and personal grudges. They have abandoned their own supposed principles, all for a pathetic, self-serving stunt. This is not the party of competence. It's the party of tantrum. They can end this today. They know the procedural truth. They have the votes necessary to join the Republicans and pass the clean CR. But they won't, because their real mandate is not from the American people. It's from the radical activists who are trying to primary their leader. It's all about protecting Chuck Schumer's job. What a disgrace. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.